Yeah, as far as I know.
You guys ready? I'm here right now because I want to deliver a message to the city out of the abundance of caution given the events of the last couple of weeks and, of course, this weekend. And because the National Weather Service has indicated there's a 20 to 60% chance of rain today and potentially over the weekend. I'm speaking to you all now because I want to be clear about the potential risk for the East Bank of New Orleans and the risk that it will flood based on information that I have learned on over the past several hours. At about 11:30 tonight, I learned that around 8 o'clock tonight, the Surgeon Water Board lost service to one of its power turbines due to an internal fire, which provides power to a majority of the city's pumping stations serving the East Bank of New Orleans on the west side of the Industrial Canal. As a result, the system's capacity to drain storm water from the streets is diminished further for the East Bank of New Orleans, again, west of the Industrial Canal. We are right now running on our last backup power source. This does not affect New Orleans East. It does not affect the Lower Ninth Ward. It does not affect Algiers. Due to potential rainfall forecasted by the National Weather Service over the course of the next day, I am therefore urging residents in the affected area, in the event of rain, to move their vehicles to higher ground, take necessary actions to protect personal property, and stay off of the roadways during road storms unless an emergency makes it absolutely necessary to do so. Pumping stations in Algiers, New Orleans East, and the Lower Ninth Ward are operating off a separate power source and are therefore not, I want to reiterate, not impacted by this outage. At this time, drinking water and sewage services for all of the city are not affected by this outage. Crews are on site now working to repair the turbine, and we are doing everything we can to secure backup power to restore power to these power stations. This could be as early as later today, but it could be longer. We just do not know that yet. We are going to do everything in our power over the next few hours to secure this additional equipment and to get the plant back in order. Due to the potentiality for rain, we're reminding residents to call 911 to report street flooding and life-threatening emergencies. Residents are advised to remain indoors in the event that we have heavy rainfall. The city is going to keep residents updated through email alerts and the NOLA Ready Twitter account, I'm going to have another press conference in the morning at 6 a.m. to give you updates as we receive them. As you can see, standing behind me is our first response team that have been with us all night. The chief has been instructed to make sure that the police department is prepared and ready in the event that we need them. Chief McConnell has been instructed to have the fire department ready. Homeland Security has been in contact with the governor's office, and I spoke to the governor at about 1:30 this morning in the event that the need arises. We hope it doesn't happen, but we're going to prepare for the worst in case it does to make sure that we do everything to protect life and property. Thank you very much, and I will be happy to answer questions that you have. Hey, Danny. My understanding that at the plant on Claiborne Avenue, for one of the turbines caught on fire and is inoperable at the moment.
Was it, I mean, it's old equipment, was it just an age issue, or what?
I do not know right now, but we'll know.
Out of service.
It is out of service right now and being worked on by a lot of people.
How many turbines are there at this point left that are working?
This is it. This is the one.
And it's out of service now?
Yes.
Number 6 is working.
Number 6 is working.
And so, since it's out, tell me again what the issue could be. Does this essentially stop pumping, or I mean, what's the issue we're looking at? This particular turbine that's out only allows us to generate a certain amount of power on the East Bank. If and when that gets back in operating, that will be better, but I am not comfortable that we have the kind of redundancy we need in the event that there is an energy outage. You're going to have to ask the engineers to explain this to you. That would then make it completely inoperable. So in other words, we are at risk. If we have a massive rain event that comes up on us at the last minute and it creates the kind of flooding that we had, the power that we have available to us now will not be sufficient enough to pump the city out in the time that we need it. So we need more power and we need more redundancy. We're in the process of getting the redundancy. I have ordered our CEO and Homeland Security to do whatever is necessary and spend whatever amount is necessary to make sure that we have backup generators that are sufficient enough to make sure that even if all the other sources go out, the city is still protected. However, we are going to be vulnerable in the next 24 to 48 hours, potentially. I'm not sure that we are, but again, given the occurrence of the last week and a couple of weeks ago, I want to make sure the citizens understand that.
As our citizens are waking up, what other precautions are we looking for tomorrow? Are we talking school closures? Are people going to school?
No, not at this time. We're not. But if it starts raining and we have an unusually large rainfall, people need to begin to take precautions and move to higher ground. In the event that something catastrophic happens, we're preparing right now in the event that we have the worst. Again, out of the abundance of caution. I'm not asking the citizens to panic, but given the occurrences of last week, I want to give people as much notice as they possibly can so they can be alert, be aware, and listen. We have already sent out a text alert to the entire city, and we will keep people updated. And, of course, at 6 o'clock, and then we have another Surge and Water Board meeting at 9 o'clock, and we will update you. There is a possibility that that turbine will be put back in use, and then we'll be in better shape, but I'm still not comfortable, and we are going to create redundancy in this system during the hurricane season so we don't have this hiccup again.
How many power turbines are there that are offline right now? Do you know how long they've been offline?
4 out of 5.
There are 4 out of 5 that are offline. One was taken offline in 2012 that's undergone a massive renovation. There were 2 other that have been used that went out. I don't have the exact dates, but a couple of months ago and then a couple of weeks ago, respectively. Those are supposed to go back online in August 18th or 19th. This last turbine was used, and because of all the way this power regenerates, it provided sufficient enough power to do whatever the city needed to do. But I was informed tonight that this went out, and we're taking, again, these actions out of the abundance of caution.
If I can ask one more.
Sure.
So it happened around 8, you said you were notified around 11. Are you happy with that 3-hour window? Or?
Well, they were working hard on it. They don't want to, again, they didn't know at the time, or at least I'm not aware that they knew at the time, that they didn't think they could get it back on. They informed our office, I think, maybe an hour or so before that. This team got here, 9:30, 10 o'clock. I actually came down to City Hall at 10 o'clock. I went over to the power plant myself and began to speak to them and to understand that. And around 11:30, it became pretty clear to me, based on what I've heard, that we have a risk that I wanted to make sure that we got completely rid of. I have spoken to the governor tonight. He knows about it as well. His Office of Homeland Security knows about it as well. And in the event that we have an event that we cannot anticipate that's similar to the one that we had, we want to make sure that we're ready to do what is necessary. And we will keep you guys informed. And to the extent we learn more information that we don't have right now, we'll be happy to provide it to you.
We'll have another update
Okay.
in 2 hours. Thank you.
All right, you guys. Thank you.
Turbo number 6 is still working, but it's doing drinking water right now.
So the drinking water's offline.
Drinking water and sewer fine. Sewer's in drinking power right now. up?
Any additional cavalry en route to help
We have
these issues?
additional generators and other stuff, and we have every piece of equipment that we can
Who
procure.
all is helping us at this point?
We have tons of requests out over the last 2 hours, state and other, any contractor that has huge core, that has large backup generators that we can tie into the system. There are a lot of generators already in the system, but they're not necessarily for these types of the 25 cycle power.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan.